How's everybody doing? I want to thank you for spending your time with me. Today we are looking at Chicken Burrito Bowl, menu number 16. This is going to be a pretty decent menu. We can see the date stamped on here. This is what you call a Julian date code, 2265. So this is the 265 day of 2022. The first digit of the 4-digit block is the end of the year, and the second, third, and fourth number are the number of the days in the year. So this is the 2265 would be 265 day in 2022. So let's get into this menu. This is going to be good. Yeah, we're going to use a new knife today. All right, let's see what we have in menu 16. Now, as I always say, there are 3 manufacturers. This one is an AmeriQual, so it's always going to be double bagged. The Sopaco and the Warnick do not double bag their menus. And these have like a frayed edge, so we could just tear it open like that. We have our main meal, which is going to be chicken burrito bowl. We use this cardboard sleeve to hold our meal when we place it in the FRH, and this helps keep some of the heat inside, and it gives you room if you want to add more components on the outside of the bag. Don't put more than your main meal inside the FRH bag. I see so many people trying to cram things in, and what happens is, because you only put about 1.5 ounces of water, when the food is placed in between the FRH, right, the water ends up puddling here or here. There's never enough water to rise up and get in between to where the FRH is. Now, if you want to soak it and get it hot and then try stuffing everything in there while that thing is taken off, good luck trying that. But it usually never works out. If you have extra FRHs because you're heating your meals at home in water, or you're at the campsite and you have a pot of water, then I usually double FRH it. I'll put one FRH on one side, I'll put another FRH on the other side, I'll slide the meal in the middle, I'll add 3 ounces of water, and then I'll let it sit for a minute or two on one side so it soaks the pad, and I'll flip it over, get that other pad soaked, and then I'll prop it up and let the bag cook for about 15 minutes, and let me tell you, you will be surprised on how hot that thing can actually get. And that is a perfect time to actually put more components on the outside to warm it up. A bread, a peanut butter, a cheese, a tortilla, a maple muffin, a marble pound cake. You'll be surprised how different things taste when they're warm. So hear a lot of people saying, oh, I just eat them cold, they're okay. Wake the flavors up in your food. Get those flavors moving. You'll be surprised. All right, enough of me ranting. Chicken burrito bowl, 8 ounces, 260 calories. We got 40 grams of carbs, 19 grams of protein. That's everything. And the calories. Accessory packet. No coffee. What a shame. I'm not surprised. So we got our Morse towelette, we got our toilet paper, we got our salt, we got our matches, and we have our chewing gum, which we know automatically because this is red. What is it? Cinnamon. We have a trail recovery trail mix with pretzels. 2.2 ounces, 62 grams, 300 calories, 30 grams of carbs, 10 grams of protein. Toaster pastry chocolate chip, otherwise known as a Pop-Tart. 1.6 grams or 1.6 ounces, 45 grams. This is 190 calories. This has 34 grams of carbs, 2 grams of protein. Tortillas, whole grain, 2.2 ounces or 63 grams. This is 220 calories, 43 grams of carbs, 5 grams of protein. Beverage base powder, lemon lime. This is 1.2 ounces or 34 grams. This requires a half a canteen cup. This is your fill line. This is 130 calories. This is actually, there's 2 types of beverage powders. There's the regular beverage powder. They're usually 1/3 of a canteen cup. When you see up here the line and it says half a canteen cup and 130 calories, check the ingredients. The next ingredient is usually maltodextrin. This boosts the calorie content and it also helps you absorb the nutrients faster. The maltodextrin is a modified sugar which helps you, convert your calories quicker into usable energy. I know I didn't explain it right, but you kind of understand what I'm saying here. Then we have peanut butter. Again, I'm so sick of peanut butter. This A and B case have been riddled with peanut butter and instead of cheese. This would have been amazing if we had regular cheese spread or jalapeno cheese spread, because you put that into the chicken burrito bowl and I'm telling you, that is perfect. 1 ounce peanut butter, and we don't really care about the nutritional information. Powdered hot sauce. This is really good. This is not a, this is not a chili flake. The chili powder, chili flakes with the seeds. This is not that. This is actually a powdered hot sauce, which I think what it is, it's actually a roasted chili pepper and then finely ground. And the ingredients are paprika, red pepper, salt, sodium desiccate, hot sauce, aged cayenne peppers, vinegar, salt, garlic, maltodextrin. Again, that's a very popular running theme here. Spice extracts and extracts of paprika. Great stuff. I actually made a variation of this by taking cayenne pepper, chili powder, garlic powder, salt, and smoked paprika and mixed it up into a little container, usually 1/3 each, and that is fantastic. A lot of people like this, but I'm a big fan of this hot sauce. Right next to the Tabasco, but we're starting to see less and less of Tabasco. And we have our flameless ration heater. So and our spoon. So that's everything in menu 16. Let's plate this up and let's get busy. Stand by. All right, we're back, and this is properly trayed up. We got our trail mix recovery with pretzels, our tortillas whole grain, our toaster pastry chocolate chip. We have our peanut butter. We have our chicken burrito bowl. We have our accessory packet and our hot sauce. Let's open our accessory packet. We have a moist towelette for cleaning our hands. We have a pack of white tip matches. We have a pack of iodized salt, chiclets, chewing gums, cinnamon flavored because it's a red package, and our napkins or toilet paper. That's everything. No coffee. So I went and grabbed another FRH because when I warmed these up for filming and I want it really hot, and I already showed how to use these, I don't use these. I put them on the side. If you start involving yourself in MREs, you will start accumulating these, and they're great to have when you want to double them up because you're not sure if your meal is going to warm up, or you're in the field and you want to ensure you have a very hot meal. So let's crack open one of these. We're going to slide it out slightly, and we're going to sacrifice this bag for another heater. I'm going to show what I mean by doubling them up. So we're going to take our meal, and this is a very, very dense meal, very thick, a lot of rice, so it might actually benefit you by doing it this way. I'm going to slide one on the bottom, and we're going to slide another one on the other side. All right. Slide it all the way to the bottom. Make sure your pad centers up. We're going to get our cardboard ready. And I'm going to even fold in the little tabs on the bottom. And we're going to start getting it ready. Let me grab some water. All right, we're back. Take your salt packet, unless you really, really want your salt packet. You don't have to do this, but the magnesium, the iron, and the sodium in these pouches is what creates the heat. Usually, by adding more salt, it really helps intensify the chemical reaction. Okay, and as you could see, our fill line is right here. I doubled it. Usually about 3 ounces is enough. So what I'll do is I'll massage that heater to get it wet. Then we flip over the bag to the other side to get that puddle of water, because it's not a lot. It's not a lot of water when you really think about it. Be careful that water doesn't spill out. Yeah, and that is getting hot. And look, you can already see how fast that's activating. And what we're going to do, stuff it in that pouch, prop it up. 15 minutes, that thing is going to be super, super hot. And like I said, maximize the heat. We're going to put this on this side, and we're going to put our peanut butter on the other side. And every once in a while, flip these things around. Let the water get to both sides. Yeah, that thing is taking off. All right. While that's taking off, I just want to show you something. I went into my stockpile of little extras, and I grabbed another lemon lime drink base, and I just wanted to show you. This one is just with sugar and dextrose, 90 grams, same lemon lime, and I kind of was surprised. It's the same exact fill line too. But the maltodextrin one, which is 130 calories, is 1.2 ounces, and the one with dextrose and citric acid is only 0.85 grams. So the sugar, which is the lighter calories, 90, is 24 grams, and the one with maltodextrin and more calories is 34 grams. So little note when you see both of these, they're not actually the same. The dextrose is 90 calories, and the maltodextrin is actually more calories, 130. So, little interesting fact on that. Get that over to the side. And what you do is put a little crease right on that line. Rip it open. When you open up your bag, you can actually see the crease from the inside. There we go. Make sure your Ziploc seal doesn't have any beverage base in it, otherwise it will leak. Fold it over once. Fold it over again. Grab it. Give it a really good shake. And then just put it down for a minute. We'll get back over to this. When you flip over your meals, make sure you also flip over the flap, because if you leave the flap hanging, it will leak out. I'm telling you, that water finds a way to get out. I'm kind of using the rock right now as like a flap pusher. There we go. All right. Trail mix recovery with pretzels. These are good. If I'm not mistaken, these are little pretzel balls. Yep. That's all of them. Throw away your oxygen absorber. We don't eat those. And our toaster pastry. Now I'm going to use the knife to slice this, because I do not want to risk crumbling that toaster pastry. And there we are. Something about getting one of these toaster pastry when they're vacuum sealed, because it will actually flatten it out, and it will get, it really does change the texture when it's completely vacuumed and smushed. It's kind of unique. I like them, but I'm weird. All right, nut. There's really not much to this meal here. We have a toaster pastry. We have, all right, take that peanut butter, and now it's like liquid, which is great, because what we're going to do, we're going to mix it onto this. Let's see what side we'll put this on. We'll put it on the flat side. And we're going to just pour this out. Look at that. It's like liquid. And even though we warmed it up, there are like the center of it, it's still kind of thick. It will come out like a blob. So really knead it good, and when you think it's done, knead it a little more. And that's the way to do your peanut butter. We're going to let that set up just by letting it sit there for a moment. Okay, let's look at what we have here. We have peanuts. Peanuts are nice. They're a little dry roasted. No salt. Cashews. They're usually halves, and they're also dry roasted. No salt. If they salted this, the sodium would be ridiculous in the meal. On top of that, they still give you a salt, so I don't even know. I mean, you might be able to take that salt packet, sprinkle it on this or in the bag, shake it up. It actually might taste a little better. But in my opinion, these meals are pretty heavy on the salt. They're not extreme for a normal person. If you're sensitive to salt, then yes, it is already excessive. But for the average person on the average diet, and if you're doing some decent activity, you could use the salt. Hydrate. Make sure you get in your water, multiple bottles, within the hour of eating this, and you'll be fine. Almonds are whole. They're pretty decent. They got a good chew to them. And these I like a lot. Now these do seem to have a little salt on them. Very light malted barley taste. Great pretzels. And surprisingly, they're not very thirst-provoking for being pretzels. It could be because the salt that's on them is kind of toned down. They don't really put as much as they normally do in a regular consumer product. But these are nice. A fantastic pocket snack. All right. Let's see what our beverage looks like. All right, and we have no product left in the bottom of the bag. That's perfect. Look at that green color. That is something. All right, let's give it a taste. Yes, classic lemon lime flavor. Very good. And if you're wondering why they're so vivid in their colors, they go out of their way, the government, I mean, to add more dye in the water than is necessary. And the thought behind that is soldiers need to stay hydrated. And not only do we eat with our taste, we also eat with our senses, sight, smell. They want it to smell appealing. That's why it smells really, it's a very pronounced lime flavor smell. And visually, in the field, soldiers might be collecting their water from streams, rivers, ponds. The water could be discolored, and the food coloring will hide some of the water discoloration. So it's visually appealing for them to drink this. So understand that the coloring, the smell, there's a purpose behind this. If a soldier, if you make this, you could certainly make this drink mix clear and still have all the flavor in it. But if you make your drink in the field and it's brown, right, or yellow, and it's supposed to be lemon lime, are you gonna be tempted to drink this? No, you're gonna be put off. You're probably gonna feel nauseous. But by putting the coloring in here, you will hide some of that off color water, and it'll help you get through it. Okay, let's flip this over again. Flip over the pouch. Kind of rock that water back and forth. Give this over this. Oh wow! Remember how hard that main was? That thing was like a brick. Now it's squishy. It's warm. All right. Usually by kneading up the heater, you will actually re-excite it. We really didn't need this rock today. I have this rock that I found, and it's kind of like the perfect size for when you want to prop up your MRE, but I don't use it that much. All right, the peanut butter has solidified. Let's give that a try on our toaster pastry with peanut butter. The MRE peanut butter has a truly unique taste. If you're new to MREs, you might notice that this peanut butter, I just call it government peanut butter, I think, in my opinion, has a much better and truer taste than consumer grade peanut butter. Consumer grade peanut butter, just like any consumer product, seems to be heavily sugared up because they want to addict everyone to sugar. I mean, ketchup has sugar in it, peanut butter has sugar in it. Everything has to have a sweeter profile for the consumer, so it's more pleasing to them. Government peanut butter, I believe, does not have hardly any sugar in it. Don't get me wrong, I'm no expert. Waffles will probably chime in on that. He probably knows, because I don't know what that guy does, but he knows everything. If you haven't checked out his channel, check it out. Waffles. Guy is amazing. But back to this. Peanut butter. I think it's fortified. I don't think there's as much sugar in it, and I think they process it and remove a lot of the oils, because the oils, protein in the oils, it what goes rancid when you store these. And to make it shelf stable, they remove a lot of the proteins out of the oil to make it shelf stable. Putting that peanut butter on that Pop-Tart, that was my first time for me. That's freaking nuts. That is delicious. I mean, these Pop-Tarts are pretty good on their own, but throwing that peanut butter on there just went to a whole nother level. It's very thick. It almost glues your mouth shut, but that is so, so good. Again, this meal went from good, and it could have been great if we just had a coffee. I don't know who we got to talk to about fixing this, because coffee equals comfort, and I don't get why they're pulling it out. I mean, you're talking about a small packet of coffee, a small packet of creamer, and a small packet of sugar. And even if you were just to throw out the creamer and the sugar and the low-calorie sweetener for cost and just left a coffee packet in there, I think people would really appreciate that. I could get used to drinking black coffee. And you're getting your caffeine fix, and you're getting a warm beverage that soothes you. I don't get it. I really don't. While we're discussing MREs, I also want to show you something else. Remember how I said, you know, these are how the MREs, the new manufacturing for 2024, all three companies, Sopaco, Warnick, and Ameriqual, will be bagging MREs like this. It will no longer be these type of bags. Now, whether the front design is actually uniform, I don't know. But this is going to be the new type. It's going to have the simple layer in the front. It's going to have the menu designation, the year, the appropriate company information, and then it's going to be a plastic pouch like this. Now, I don't know if they're going to double bag them. Probably not, because that would kind of be redundant. You open a bag to open another bag. But this is how they're all going to be coming in 2024. Now, pretty interesting little fact there. All right. I'm going to put that on the side. And I think we're almost done here. We're at about 18 minutes. And this thing is smoking hot. So we're going to let it sit just a minute longer. And we'll be right back. All right, we're back. It's been about 5 more minutes. That would give this about 20 minutes. And I don't think anything else is going to happen with it. So we're going to pull out our tortillas. These are whole grain. And these, I must say, are truly impressive how warm they feel. Look at that. You could actually see moisture inside the pouch. And yes, I'm going to say it, warm up your bread products. I mean, let's face it, these are not gourmet to begin with. And I don't understand when I see people eating these, they don't warm them up. I mean, look how hot that is. You put it down on the tray, and look, it's steamed already. All right, so we got that. Wow, that is smoking hot. Woo! I'm kneading it around because a lot of the oils separate, and you want to get that. And look, now it's starting to take off again. That is almost too hot to even touch. All right, we're done here. Now, when we opened this, there was a tear notch up here. If you notice, there's another tear notch right down here. That's to open this so you don't have to reach in the bag. Okay, tear that second notch out. Your meal comes right out. We're going to dispose of this in the garbage. You could save this, or you could dispose of it, just like the other. We're going to put that on the side. I'm actually, instead of using the pouch like this, I'm going to slice this across just so we could empty it a little easier, because it is very warm. Well, I don't want to dump too much out all at once. So, wow, that is smoking hot. Wow. I'm not kidding. Those two FRHs will get this thing so hot, you will burn yourself. All right. This is coming out nicely. It is very hot, so I'm trying to roll it and use the thick part of the bag to block my fingers. And we have a little bit left over right in the seam. Here we go. That's our chicken burrito bowl. All right. Now, before we douse it with hot sauce, I just want to show you what we got going on here. We got chicken. We have beans. We have a short grain rice that's very starchy. We have nice chunks of chicken. We do have a lot of herbs in this. And let me just read off the ingredients if anyone's interested. We have water, chicken, modified food starch. We got pinto beans. We have pre-boiled long grain rice, corn, green chilies, pepper, diced tomatoes, tomato juice, citric acid. We got some food starch. We have taco seasoning and spices, including chili pepper and paprika, onions, garlic, green bell peppers, onions again, sugar, garlic, salt, onion powder, ancho pepper concentrate, red peppers, ancho chili pepper, powdered salt, corn oil, chipotle seasoning, chili peppered powder, cilantro, and spices. That is quite the ingredients list. I thought there would have been a lot more preservative in this. This is pretty impressive. Yep, and we have our little nutrition pep talk. Carbohydrates, proteins, and fat. And it gives you a little bit of a pep talk on what each does and what it's good for you and what your intake should be. All right, now let's dice up some of this. Put some of this pepper on there. I absolutely love this pepper. I really do. I think this is next to the Tabasco. The Tabasco and this pepper, I think, are kind of right on each other. They're two different kind of heats. The Tabasco is an intense vinegar. This is more of a mild smoky that keeps creeping up on you the more you eat it. And we're just going to put it all in there. I mean, it's not like they give you a whole lot. It's only 2 grams. That's it. We'll start with the larger one first. The tortilla is nice and flexible. Wow, look at it. That is fat. Let's take a bite. That is very impressive. For a retort pouch meal, that isn't bad at all. Wow. That is still almost too hot to eat. And I'm not talking about the chili hot. I'm talking about temperature. I'm almost on the verge of burning myself because the center of this is still molten. For people that say FRHs don't get their meal hot enough, wow. Try a double, spike it with salt, then get back to me. I'm going to fold this up now because the tortillas are getting a little dry from sitting here, and I don't want them to crack when I actually am ready to eat this one. And honestly, I don't think I'm going to be eating this one on camera. I'm already starting to get full. This is a very dense, very heavy, and very thick meal. And it's already coming out the other side. I put way too much in this one. And as I'm eating it, it's squeezing out the other end. All right, we're back. Camera cut out on me, but we didn't lose anything. For being such a light menu, this is pretty filling. It really is. The chicken really does have a good chew to it. The rice and beans are semi-firm. They're not really firm. I mean, after all, it is a retorch pot meal. So it's semi-firm. The corn really does have a good texture. Has a really good Southwest flavor to it. That chili powder really does kick it up a notch without bringing the heat level up too high. Great flavor from the smoked chilies. And I really must say I'm impressed with these tortillas. They do have a good taste to them. They don't taste too floury or bleachy. You know how like retort pouch bread, some kind like the crackers, they could have like a bleached taste. This tastes really natural. I really wish I would have had cheese to put on this. That would have made this over the top. But sometimes you'll get it in these menus, sometimes you'll get a substitution like peanut butter. Let's check out our lemon lime beverage. Really good flavor on the lemon lime. It's not overly sweet. Doesn't have any kind of aftertaste. Definitely a good beverage. So, let's check out our wet nap. Nice and moist. Got a pleasant fragrance to it. It's not a chemical or alcohol where it's just really, really cool to the touch. Okay, well, I don't think there's anything else much to say on this other than the cinnamon chewing gum, which we haven't tried, but it's cinnamon chewing gum. So, I don't think there's much to say on that. Let's recap. Our toaster pastry, chocolate, outstanding. Nice, not overly too sweet. We heated up our peanut butter in our double FRH bag. Came out perfect. Poured it on here. It solidified into a nice thick layer. Perfect taste with the peanut butter and the chocolate chip. We have our trail mix recovery. Always a pleasure to see this. We got the peanuts, we got the pretzel balls, we got almonds, and we got cashews. Nothing is salted except for the pretzel balls. And then at that, it seems like they're half salted. We had our whole grain tortillas, which were very pleasant tasting. And then we had our chicken burrito bowl filling, which is a treat. This is a great, hearty, filling menu. Had great flavor, great texture. And there's not much else to go on this. We didn't get any kind of beverage powder for our coffee, which is a shame, but it is what it is. Normally this menu comes with cheese spread, but in this case, it seems to be the running theme that everything is peanut butter. When manufacturers don't have a component that was suggested for this meal, they'll substitute it with something else. And they will not hold up shipments because they don't have something. They'll substitute it that will be very close to the caloric intake of what it's surplusing, and then they just get the meals out. It's also not uncommon for cases to have doubles. If you get a case and it has, let's say it's case A, 1 through 12, you're lucky, because sometimes they'll throw 2 number 1s in there, 2 number 5s to make up for things that they don't have. They're not going to hold up the production line just because they don't have one menu or a component. They're going to pack it, they're going to get it out the door. Same thing with case B. Case B is more of a heavier meal, a lot of stews, a lot of chicken and pork based products. Case A is pork free. It's an unofficial halal. Case B tends to be more heavier, more filling meals. I'm starting to be particular to case B because I like the larger filling meals. If you enjoyed this, please like, subscribe, comment, and share. Let me know what you thought about this meal. Let me know if I did something you didn't agree with, or let me know if there's something you know that I don't know, because I'll share it with the group and I'll give you a shout out for doing it. Really appreciate the viewers. We just passed 2,000 subscribers. I cannot believe this. It only seems like yesterday we were trying to get to 1,000, then we hit 1,600. This is absolutely amazing, and you guys made that possible, so I want to say thank you. Thank you from the bottom of my heart. This was menu 16 in our MRE for Newbies series. I can't believe we're moving along so fast. The next menu in our series is going to be menu number 17, pork sausage patty maple flavored. This is a breakfast menu. There are so few in these cases. I think there's like two in case B, possibly 1 in case A. I don't know. I guess they don't really think we eat breakfast in the field, right? But this is a great menu, and I really can't wait to get into it. This is exciting. So stay tuned for the next video. And again, thank you, like, subscribe, comment, and I'll see you on the next one. Take care.